All right, guys, we got ourselves an exclusive here. I now know the full truth as to what happened between Reagan Conrad and Brett Cooper and why Brett Cooper unfollowed her and why Brett Cooper no longer speaks to her and all those different things. And the reason why I know that is because I actually spoke to someone who knows the situation very well, and I was able to get some insight from that person about what exactly happened. I am going to expose that right now. It all ties in to this Reddit post right here. The person that I spoke to, the situation, everything. And for those who don't remember, obviously, Reagan's cousin Riley made a video, and she obviously, I don't know what happened. Maybe, Reagan said, hey, just take this down. Or maybe she felt like she didn't like what she said. I don't know. She deletes the video. You guys know the story. She tries to come after me and file a false copyright strike against my channel, and she lost. But anyway, this video isn't about that. The bottom line is, Riley came out, said what she said on TikTok. It blew up. Everybody had stuff to say about it, reaction videos, right? After that, somebody made a Reddit post where they said, I know what actually happened between Brett and Reagan, and it was in response to what the cousin said, right? So not only do I have the post, but I spoke to someone who is closely tied to the situation, knows what happened, and I was able to get more from the Reddit post. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to read the Reddit post based on this person that I spoke to behind the scenes. And what I am going to do is we're going to read this post, and I'm simply going to add some context. Because in my conversation with this person, basically, I got more of the details behind this post that was written is basically what I got. I'm going to read this whole Reddit post, and I'm going to add the new context that I got from the person who is closely affiliated with this situation that I spoke to in private about this, okay? So let's just start from the main part, right? It says right here, it is true that Brett wanted to leave for very good reasons. It was not about money, but management. Her best friend Reagan encouraged her to leave and supported her, and as her cousin accurately states, was so supportive and encouraging that she fully planned to leave with her. That's about all her cousin gets right. Yes, Brett offered to pay her what she could reasonably afford, but it is such a lie to imply Brett did not want to pay her for months. The truth is that the Daily Wire has insane non-competes for every single employee there. Take your time to read through Glassdoor reviews for the company, stretching back years. Management is monstrous. Long story short, Brett and Reagan, were going to start her new show when it was legally allowed. Brett was Brett's. Okay, so let's just scroll down and get to like the really important parts of this. Says here, one day Reagan comes to, so Reagan was Brett's hype woman in all of this planning. Jeremy has a God complex, and I am so tempted to publish the email, blah, blah, blah. He believes that he creates talent and makes them famous, and he could do this with anyone. He also believes that if talent tries to leave or disobey, he can easily destroy them. One day, Reagan comes to all of us, bursting with tears, claiming that Jeremy brought her into the office and told her she wanted to fill in for Brett. She painted this as though Jeremy was doing this purely to torture Brett. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We all felt terrible for her. Retrospect. She told us that she told him that she would only do it for 2 weeks. Again, this is really dumb to reflect on, because why would she be telling him what she would or wouldn't do? But we believed her. 2 weeks pass, and then she does a complete 180. She says she actually loves being in front of the camera, and that God wants her to take this opportunity, and that Jeremy offered her a contract worth a lot of money and promised he could make her famous. Brett was horrifically backstabbed. That is the truth. It is even more awful when you know the reasons why Brett wanted to leave, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we got that. Let me add the full context behind this Reddit post as to what exactly happened, okay? First thing, Reagan did not get Brett's blessing. That is what I was told in private by this person that is closely affiliated with this situation. I was told that Reagan did not get Brett's blessing. Reagan actually went and spoke to several people behind the scenes and asked if Brett would be okay with her taking over her show, the comment section. From what I was told, everyone in the inner circle that she talked to said, no, we do not think that Brett will be okay with you taking over the show that she built when you and her are best friends and you were the maid of honor at her wedding. No, we don't think that's a good idea. No. As a matter of fact, we think that you should tell Brett how you feel. Just tell her how you feel. Tell her. Reagan could never build up the courage to do it. She just couldn't. So people behind the scenes knew what Reagan wanted to do except Brett. Brett had no idea that this girl secretly had these ambitions to all of a sudden want to be on camera, want to be famous, when she had said prior that she didn't. She had said prior that she didn't want to be on camera, didn't want to do that, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden does this complete 180. And now all of a sudden is telling people behind Brett's back, didn't even go up and tell Brett, but telling people behind Brett's back, hey, I actually want to take over as the host of the day of the comment section. But I don't know if I should tell Brett. What do you think? Should I tell her? Blah, blah, blah. Yes, you should tell her. She never ends up telling her. Okay. What else we got? I was also told that Reagan would not have gotten to where she got to without Brett. And this pieces the story together. This explains why Brett was so hurt. You wouldn't have got to where you got to if it weren't for me. I did everything for you. I was encouraging. I was loving. I was supportive. I went to bat for you. I did everything I could to help you because you and I were good friends. And you couldn't even get the courage to tell me that you wanted to backstab me and take over my show that I built. That's part of the reason why Brett Cooper was so hurt. So ultimately, I was also told the reason why Reagan made this 180. Because again, remember, Reagan originally did not want to do this. She was actually terrified, by the way, when she first got told the first time that, hey, we want you to fill in for Brett. Reagan's like, me? I don't got the talent for this. Which, newsflash, she doesn't. I mean, look at the channel. My tiny old channel sometimes gets more views than her. Like, you're on a 4 million subscriber channel, barely can get 50K views. Like, yes, you don't have the talent. And deep down, Reagan knew that she didn't. Because when she first got offered, not to take over the comment section, but just to fill in. Hey, Brett's going on vacation or Brett's got something else he's got to do. Hey, we just want you to fill in. When she first got told that, she was scared out of her mind. She went and told people in private, I don't know how I could do this. I'm very scared, blah, blah, blah. Either way, she ends up doing it. So ultimately what it came down to is Reagan wanted to be famous. That's what this comes down to. The reason, and this is what I was told in private, Reagan decided randomly that she wants to be the star now. She wants to be famous. Essentially, she wants to be Brett Cooper. Brett Cooper is a star. Brett Cooper is famous. I was also told that when Reagan would go with Brett, everywhere Brett goes, she's being approached and recognized. And, oh, my God, Brett, I love your content so much. I love everything you do. Meanwhile, Reagan's just a producer in the bag. Nobody really cares about her or acknowledges her because she's not the star. Reagan, deep down, didn't like that. She wanted to be the star. It's a little bit of jealousy that's happening here. And so Reagan wanted to take over the comment section because of this. And because of her thirst to be a star and become famous, Reagan stabs Brett in the back. And here's the thing that I was also told. It's not necessarily the fact that Reagan took the job. It's that you didn't tell her, you went and told other people, but not her, directly backstabbing her. Basically, this is where Brett's at. Brett's like, okay, I'm leaving the Daily Wire. I wonder what's going to happen to my job on the comment section. I have no idea. And she has no idea that Reagan's going to replace her. She just, thinking that, hey, well, Reagan was my fill-in, but, I definitely wouldn't expect this person to ever replace me. Next thing you know, Reagan's the host of the comment section. What? You were the producer under me. What? I'm the one who made the show. Which, by the way, guys, another thing that I got from this person that I spoke to behind the scenes affiliated with the situation is that Brett did a lot more than you think. When we say Brett Cooper built the Daily Wire, built the comment section, she really did. From what I was told, Brett wrote her own scripts and Brett did her own research on video topics. She didn't have a research team or a scripting team that writes it. Brett wrote this herself. Brett wrote exactly what she was going to say, her own script. Brett did her own research on what she was going to talk about and stuff like that. Takes a lot of work to do that. So when we say that Brett Cooper really built up that channel, the comment section, she really did. Okay. I also want to give some more information here that I was told behind the scenes. This person also confirmed to me that when people say that, oh, Reagan took acting classes, to try to be like Brett, that's not true. However, here's a little story that happened that you may not know. The first time that Reagan filled in for Brett Cooper, she implied when she finally finished her part doing the show for the first time after she was nervous and didn't even want to do it, she implied that she did her best to be Brett and act like Brett. And Brett told her, no, you should not try to be like me. You should be you. That is what I was told. So that's more information there. Obviously, absolutely insane. And yeah, that's what happened. That's the situation. So just to recap, it is a 1,000% fact that Reagan backstabbed Brett Cooper. That's what happened. And that's how Brett Cooper feels. Because you never told her that you were taking over the show.